And so many of my clients realize, oh, I don't want to manage people all day. I love what I do. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a poet. I'm a healer. I'm a practitioner. Now, does that mean you can't have a $10 million business and be a practitioner? No, but it's a model that you have to decide you are willing to learn. Well, hello and welcome to the Leadership is Feminine podcast. I'm Kris Plachy, and I'm recording this podcast at night because I have one more podcast to get done before I get to go on vacation. So if we happen to make a video out of this, you'll see me in my human sweatshirt and in my refer her red hat and my goofy glasses. Um, but I wanted to talk to you about you. And, we talk a lot about team. We talk about all the tactics of leadership and how to think about things. And one of the things that I have been spending quite a bit of time talking to my clients about is what kind of business do they want? And it's interesting because now I've been an entrepreneur for almost 13 years. And um, I know when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody does, right? We just kind of like, I'm going to work on my own. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to have to deal with a compliance department or a boss or I don't know, anything. I just wanted to do my own thing. And really for the first 5 years of my business, it was very like, okay, I would call it more of a consulting business. And I would connect with people and then they would ask me to come help them with things. And I would do that. And I did a lot of presenting and a lot of workshops and a lot of teaching and um, coaching. And um, and so there's a lot of women that I have quote unquote grown up with as an entrepreneur, right? Who also started businesses and sort of were like, let's see what happens. And then they built these huge businesses in all sorts of different ways, right? Especially the women I know in my field, other coaches. But I also meet and now work with clients who are in mostly professional services businesses. So everything from design and accounting and um, health and wellness and attorneys and um, recruiting firms and food service. They're all across the board. I don't actually work with a lot of coaches, honestly, but all of my clients hit these moments where they're really invited to a decision. And I think the first moment is when you really hit about 1 million in revenue. And I talked a little bit about this with the $3 to $5 million business a couple of weeks ago. Because you can run $1 million business, most people can, on your own with a little bit of help. If you have a brick and mortar business, that's more challenging because you have to have bodies, you have to have people in the building, right? That's a little bit different. But for the most part, most people who are in professional services of some sort can usually kind of scrap it together. Um, but then we have to make some decisions, right? So if I want this to keep growing, am I willing to add people? Because I can't do it all myself. And that's when a lot of women find me because they realize they have had to add people and they don't know how to deal with that. They don't know what to do and it feels so overwhelming and so hence we do our work together. But there's other pivot moments. And so for those of you who are listening to this, and I feel like I meet people in so many different places. I meet people who are really, really ambitiously excited about growing multiple $1 million size businesses with locations and amenities and offers and all the things they want to put in the world. And I love it. And then I also have a lot of clients, and maybe it's because I don't know, I've been doing it a while. And so I have a lot of clients who are probably closer to my age too. Not all, but I have quite a few who are also now like, I don't know. I think a $5 million business is kind of fun. Like, does it have to be bigger? I don't know the answer. It doesn't have to be bigger. I don't know that it has to be. I just think you have to ask yourself. And then you have to look at where you are and what that goal is. And are you willing to do the work of it? It's a different business. And a lot of my clients get to a place where they realize, oh, I don't want this job. I don't want to be the CEO of this business. If this business requires me to do all the things I don't like doing, I like doing that. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. Like, I really don't. And I think you can change your mind too, which is super cool. And I watch people do it, but I don't think we talk about it. And I want to talk about it because I really, if I could give you anything, I would like put you in a little bubble and I would send you forward and I would say, here's what this really looks like. You right now you're running a $2.5 million business. You want to get to 10 so that you can turn that thing and make money. Yeah. You want to sell it. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about what that will be. Because most of you, when you talk to advisors and colleagues and peers, and you go to big conferences and everybody's whispering in your ear about all the potential and all the things you could do, what are they focusing on? Revenue. They're talking about all the potential growth and revenue, right? And listen, I love money. I also love a 50, 60, or 70% profit margin. So, right? Bodies, more money. So, okay, you get to 10 million. What is that business, right? And one of the things that I do with my clients is called team design. And we go through and we look at, okay, this is the goal. What is the structure that supports that? You have to be honest with yourself about it. And if that's the structure that supports that, what's your role in there? What is it that you're doing every day? And so many of my clients realize, oh, I don't want to manage people all day. I love what I do. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a poet. I'm a healer. I'm a practitioner. Now, does that mean you can't have a $10 million business and be a practitioner? No, but it's a model that you have to decide you are willing to learn. And if you want to run that $10 million business and be the CEO or the founder or the president or the principal or the managing director, whatever you want to call yourself, of that $10 million business, then you have to be honest. What is that job? What's the gap between where you are right now and what that role is? And if you're not getting busy on it, it's going to bite you because you can't just park it and focus on revenue. Now, I'm going to pull back and tell you the one thing that drives me nuts are all the people that want to sell you how to do strategic plans. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And here's why. The world is changing so fast. Listen to me. Is it the same as it was? Is it the same today as it was 4 months ago? No. No, you know that. So you can have all the best plans in the world. But you need to be able to move and be agile. So we have to play out what is the model here? And then what do we do this week, next month, this quarter to get us closer? If you have an annual plan, I would love to hear how many people actually keep the whole plan. I love looking at our goals. And I love strategizing on how we're going to achieve our goals, but I really love being nimble. And if you're running a business that you want to double your revenue and you haven't even thought about the people that you're going to need to do that and the investment that that will be and the training that that will be and the support that they will need and the infrastructure that's necessary to do that. If you have a team of 10 and you know you're going to end up at a team of 30, what changes? You know what I know changes? Payroll. You can't keep running your own payroll. And yet, that's one that creeps up on people. If you do scheduling, that'll drive you crazy if you're scheduling 20 people versus 6. How about if you are open 6 days a week? You on call that whole time? Or do you need a GM? Do you need an ops manager? Do you need somebody else who's going to help run this thing? Not make even the big decisions, just be hands-on. And are you willing to become the woman who builds that team? So I love it. I love when women invest in their organizations and they build these incredible companies and then they sell them or they keep them and they live off of them and it's all whatever your choice is. Because I know once you're committed to what you're creating, you'll do it if it's what you want, right? I just don't think we're talking to you enough about that question. Do you know what you want? Like, how old are you right now? What do you want your life to look like? Just your life. Don't think about your business because you aren't your business and your business isn't you. What do you want your life to look like in 10 years? Ideally, right? I'm 54. 64 years from now or six, excuse me, 10 years from now, I do not want to be working at the level that I am. I still want to be working because I love what I do, but not like all the time. And I don't want a big company at 64. Not at all. So I don't want to build one right now. So I'm looking at all of the ways to expand reach, make a bigger impact, and do it in a way that doesn't require extra resources in a way that I'm not interested in. But I've already led and managed 250 some odd people. Like, listen. So I get that. I did it. It's all good. I don't want to do it again. But I want you to really think about it. And I want you to build a business that aligns with the life you want. Do not live for your business and wake up thinking, this is my life. That's not the gift of entrepreneurship. That's where we've gotten it backwards because that's why, and so many people over focus on just revenue, growth, revenue, growth. And I meet those people. I meet those people. They're haggard, exhausted, and they hate their company. Do all of them? No. But if you end up there without intention, because really your primary focus was generating revenue and growing, and you don't really think about how that affects your role, what you're doing all day, what you need to know, what you need to understand, what you need to be willing to let go of. And I just want this conversation to be more consistent. I want more of us talking about it. I had a conversation actually with one of my kids. This was a while ago. And he has a really cool career he's building, and he he's in the music industry. He's a sound engineer. And we were talking about success, right? And of course, he's young, just like all the rest of us. But he's young. And I think our younger generation is much more affected and impacted by all the stuff on the onlines, right? Of all the people making all the money and all the success and all the likes and follows and all of the things. And he's like, I just don't know if I'm ever going to be that person. Like, it's just these people, right? And some of them are 18 years old, 19 years old, and they have 2 million followers and and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But I want you to really think about yourself today. And I want you to think about, would you be ready if you dropped a new release, if you dropped your beat and everybody fell in love with it, and all of a sudden, within a week's time, you ended up having 900,000 followers and you started getting phone calls from all these different publishing houses. Like, if all of that really happened, would you be ready for it? And I think that's the problem with overnight success. And I see this just in the people I follow on Instagram. Every now and then someone pops up and they're like, holy heck, I got 80,000 followers in the last 2 weeks, right? That's just Instagram. There's people who sell these really cute little handy dandy little things that, right? Like, think about the what do you call them? The Stanley cups. I don't know who makes those, to be frank. But then did you know there's a little purse thing you can get that goes on the Stanley cup? I got lots of those for Christmas for people. That company exploded. They weren't ready. They weren't ready. Right? There was the couple, the guy who attacked the shooter. He um tackled the shooter at the drag restaurant and bar in Colorado. And he has a bar. He and his wife have a bar. And so everyone wanted to support this guy for his heroism and what he did. And they were there at this drag show with their kids, like just having a lovely evening. And that's what happened. And so I did the same thing. I went to their website. They had t-shirts and they had all these things with their logo, which now, of course, is um escaping me completely, but it had to do with diversity. And they had to send messages to all the people and say, we can't meet the demand. Right? Now, that's a random example. They didn't ask for the success. That just sort of happened, and it was a way for people to be supporting them. But most of us are asking for it. We're really out there trying to figure out how to expand our reach in a way that we want. And I think we have to think about the full picture before we ask for it. And I still think we can end up where we are and be like, oh, yeah, no, I don't like this. Or, holy smokes, it's better than I ever thought. All I want is for you to be conscious and be honest. And, if you want an exceptional team of people that are like money and they're like unicorns and they just, right? Are you willing to become an exceptional leader? Are you one? Because exceptional team members want to work for exceptional leaders. They won't stay. But too many people are like, well, I got this great product and I'm making a lot of money. Yeah. And so what? Are you building a team of people that want to work for you? It's so under discussed. It just drives me crazy because I think I mean, you can see it happening. And I'm sure based on whatever industry all of you are in, you know what I'm talking about. There's the realtor, right? Who was an exceptional salesperson. And man, she just built a whole empire of other, right, of broker agents and all the people that would help her. But she couldn't manage her team for nothing. Fell apart. Plumbers build these huge businesses. Why? He's amazing. He starts getting plumbers to help him out. Can't manage the business, can't manage the schedule, can't manage organization. Doesn't work. So before we ask for it, we've got to really think about what we're asking to be involved in, not just what the result is that we want, which is a big business with lots of money and good profit. What are we really asking for? And are we willing to do the work to make it happen in a way that aligns with what you want? Like what you really, really, really want. So think about your life 10 years from now. What do you want that life to look like? If it was just delicious, make decisions for her today. Let's not make decisions based on what everybody else thinks you should do, what you just learned at the last conference you went to, all this new whatever, blah, 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 that's fancy schmancy. All of it's great. I love all of it. But let's put it through the filter. Does this get me closer to what I really, really want? Having a business is so fun. And I tell my clients all the time, the best thing about having your own business is you can do whatever the F you want. And I want to always remind you, you don't need permission to grow huge or keep it just as it is. And who cares what everybody else is doing? You do what you love and you do what you are willing to do. All right. Thanks for tuning in today. Go to thevisionary.ceo. You can always find out something new. Ciao.